plan or even consider taking drastic physical actions of any sorts against the state or on my fellow citizens, despite I have been persecuted by both for years on end. And even though I have demonstrated throughout the program that I have no such intentions, the administrators of the program are still propagating the following narrative: that I somehow am on the verge of committing some gruesome, violent act. Furthermore, they are even going as far to claim that it is only a matter of time before their narratives will become reality. They are perpetually propagating this sort of pre-crime propaganda because it is obviously favourable for their objectives. Furthermore, they need people in general to believe in their propaganda stories. Hence why this brand of propaganda is always more pronounced where there is a live shooter event or terrorist attack on the populations. Each time they equate me personally to these individual attacks on the peoples, they are overtly exploiting the people's fears as a means of justifying the program's ever-increasing initiatives, despite there being absolutely no connection between the events and me. They will continue this sort of guilt by media hype and the program's propaganda indefinitely, as the program will continually evolve, which means more initiatives will be implemented by the arbiters, and more initiatives equals more justifications, and because these do not occur organically, they are going to stage and fabricate whatever situation or justification to these ends. While this brand of propaganda and guilt by media hype is and will continue to be sporadic, they will continue the constant, relentless attacks on my character. In fact, the intensity and the outrageousness of their propaganda stories about me will increase many times over. I personally cannot do anything to mitigate or stop either of these extrajudicial methods of attacks on me. However, what I can and am doing is fighting back on a national level, through legal means, against the local authorities who have taken direct actions against me as proxies for the establishments who run and administer the program on an international level. I would now shed some light onto what I have been working on for the past few months. Once again, I do not drop bombs or shoot or stab people. I file lawsuits, and I do it well, which is 100 times more effective than causing innocent people's harms. Those kinds of actions only benefit the state and its institutions. This case is primarily a human rights case. Most of my claims in this suit are claims of violations of my human rights, in accordance with the European Convention on Human Rights. The case itself stems from the eviction case from 2014, in which accusations of me being a physical threat to the other tenants in the building was a claim made by my landlord to justify the eviction of me, despite there had never been any incidents whatsoever. And as you may know, they lost this case. Therefore, I filed a civil suit for the wrongful eviction and raised claims of defamation for the false accusations against me. This case was ongoing in 2015 as a civil court case in the District Court of Esbjerg. Throughout this case, I was a victim of gross violations of my human rights on multiple counts, which is why I at the end was forced to withdraw the case, as I could obviously not allow or accept that the Danish government was overtly sabotaging the case through infiltration by an appointed attorney who had been appointed for this purpose alone. The judge who managed this case sanctioned these unlawful actions, even after I brought definitive evidence to support my claims to this judge's attention. which is why I on the 7th of June 2016 filed this human rights case against this judge and against the President of the District Court of Esbjerg. I have just filed another civil court case on the 27th of July 2016 against the municipality of Esbjerg. This is a comprehensive civil suit which will really dispute the primary premises and pretext of the program. You see, the municipality of Esbjerg is that authority who has been doing the intelligence agency's dirty work in regards to me and the program, on behalf of the Danish government and the other establishments who administer and run the program. This municipality has since 2012 assiduously attempted to have me committed to a psychiatric hospital by misusing their authority on an array of issues. Moreover, I have obviously taken safety precautions, hence why they have not succeeded with this objective yet. Furthermore, the safety precautions have now given me enough evidence to prove that the municipality of Esbjerg has been misusing their authority with premeditated intentions of having me wrongfully institutionalized. Secondly, I have also raised claims of how this municipality in 2012 wrongfully stood silently by when I was accused of being a pedophile and a rapist at the job centre by a teacher who was giving lectures without there ever being official charges against me. These are by far the only aspects of this case. However, these are the most central to the program and the most serious aspects in regards to my life and well-being. I will not go further into detail as these cases are ongoing. However, I will explain what I foresee in regards to the Danish government and the other establishments' retaliatory actions against me and my cases. As one thing is for certain, they will not allow me to exercise my legal and human rights against them and their program. In this respect, they will most likely try to have my cases thrown out of court and or sabotaged. This can be done in a variety of ways. Therefore, I'm going to address the most likely methods here. If the human rights case is thrown out of court, I can go directly to the European Court of Human Rights, as if the case is thrown out. I have then exhausted all national remedies. For this reason, I do not expect this case to be thrown out. Rather, they will try to sabotage it through unproportional and bureaucratic formalities. Firstly, and this goes for both cases, they will question my abilities every step and chance they get, because they want, or should I say they need to use, the infiltration method from 2015 to appoint an attorney who will serve the interests of the state and the program. They cannot allow me to represent myself, as I will methodically lay the grounds for my claims in a comprehensive and cohesive way, which will furthermore be substantiated in the evidence definitively. Herefore, they will surely want to infiltrate my cases through appointed attorneys who will serve the interests of the state and the program instead of the client's interests. The case against the municipality, they will first want to disseminate and throw out individual claims in a systematic way to undermine the case, and eventually the case will become insignificant enough to which they can allow it to proceed under these self-selected conditions. This is what I foresee they will do on the legal side of things. On the extrajudicial front, they will want to substantiate their claims of me being incompetent. This they will do through their propaganda efforts, where they will create all sorts of stories and narratives, supposedly about me and the lack of my abilities, in such a way that their violations of the principle of rule of law and human rights seem much less profound. While at the same time they will be calling for the public's participation here in the local area of Esbjerg to participate in staged events against me in an effort to set me up in a predicament which can lead to my incarceration or institutionalization into a psychiatric hospital. This will be a persistent effort, which will coincide with the propaganda efforts. Furthermore, they will want to demonstrate how the court system is completely under their control. Therefore, it is likely that they will retaliate against me by trumping up a case against me. And despite this being a well-known fact, the court will allow the trumped up case against me without question, while at the same time sanctioning the extrajudicial sabotaging and hindering of my court cases against the state. Finally, they will want to parade and propagate this as widely and as intensively as possible to demonstrate that their power is absolute, in a campaign to frighten off anyone who would ever dare to have a defiant thought of their own, while at the same time demonstrating to other authoritarian governments how absolute power and control can be swayed through soft power and psychological operations.